The Pacific Crest Trail Association incorporated in 1977 under the leadership of M. Merritt Podley and Warren Lee Rogers. That year, a group of young men thru-hiked the trail and became legends. Greg Strider Hummel, Mad Monte Dodge, and Paul Hacker's pictures and stories have been passed on every year since to hikers of all ages. They have advocated the trail and helped hikers on their journey ever since.
77 was a great year. It's the driest year on record. It was the largest year by far in the early years of successful thru-hikers. Up to that point, there had not been a year that more than 11 thru-hikers, we figure, more than 11 thru-hikers had completed the trail. That year, we think as many as 25 did. And so it was a great year. It was the driest year on record in the Sierra, and as such, it's one of those years where I think a lot of people were very early on inspired by Eric Ryback's book and the National Geographic book on the Pacific Crest Trail, and they found a year in which there was almost no snow falling in the winter of that 76, 77 winter. And so a lot of us, inspired by that, thought this is the year to do it, and a bunch of us jumped out. Many of us have been good friends ever since.
Warren Lee Rogers' efforts to complete construction of the trail continued to consume him until his death in 1992, 1 year before the completion of the trail. In 1993, the Pacific Crest Trail Association and the U.S. Forest Service, along with other land management companies, including Donald Lee Rogers, Warren's son, celebrated the completion of the trail with a golden spike ceremony in Soledad Canyon, California.
My dad wanted to have a worldwide gathering of all the PCT people in the world, PCT club members. And we Mount Hood, the lodge up at Mount Hood, and we had reserved the place. And we all drove up there on a nickel and a dime. It was a great trip. And my brother and my dad were driving back down. We were in another car. We came separately. And my brother told me how he related to, my dad was in the back seat. And said, "Turn here." So they went off the highway. About 1.5 miles, dirt road to the left, turn there, turn left. Could barely talk. I'm a lot louder than he was. Okay, go down for about 3 miles, there should be some kind of a 2 wheels track to the right. This is Northern Oregon. And so now they're off in brush on this wagon wheel road type thing. Okay, at this river, stop. Oregon Trail, right here. He knew it all. He could pick out the Oregon Trail, tell you how to get to it, in the woods, 2 states away, and remember where the wagon wheel roads were to get to it. To the day he died, his mind was perfect. Oh, the things he could remember about the people, the places. He was amazing. He was just amazing. My brother never got over that. A lot of people love the trail. A lot of people worked on the trail. A lot of people dedicate their lives to it in retirement or whatever to the trail. They dedicated their working lives, Mr. Clarke not so much, but my dad, to establish the trail at the time when it would be capable of being preserved. Had they not been there at the time they did and done what they did, the trail would never exist. That's my honest belief. Their legacy is the PCT, both of them. and all of the people that enjoy it and use it and look forward to it and work on it and love it. That's their true legacy. Rogers and Clarke, I think that should be their legacy, I might add. 2 men, 1 dream, PCT.
In 1998, Greg Strider Hummel, Mad Monte Dodge, and Paul Hacker started ADZPZICTO, which stands for Annual Day Zero Pacific Crest Trail Kickoff. Every year now, this event takes place in Lake Morena, California, at the time when most hikers are starting their journey. Many dedicated volunteers help put this together every year for the hikers who are attempting to complete this journey in one season. They offer support, a place to get all your wilderness permits, some great food, and sound advice. It's a celebration of one of the greatest adventures a person can do.
It gathers about 150 thru-hikers, aspiring thru-hikers each year, and the rest are approximately 450 supporters, something like that, that have either thru-hiked the trail before in previous years, or like myself, or are supporters, trail angels, moms and dads of thru-hikers that are aspiring this year, section hikers, wannabes who want to come back in the future year and hike the trail. I don't stand here myself alone. What you don't see are the 15 other people that are the major task managers that run this event. We have people that do the food, we have people that do the website, we have people that assign the campsites. It's a tremendous amount of work that goes into this, and it goes on all year long. And what no one sees is the massive amount of work that goes into putting on this event up to this point. All they see is the results of this, and usually they're blown away by that. We're very pleased.
Every town along the way welcomes these adventurers with open arms. Now, the Pacific Crest Trail Association is an individual membership organization with a bi-monthly magazine and an internet website. Liz Bergeron is now the executive director and supervises all aspects of the Pacific Crest Trail Association. She continues the work of Warren Lee Rogers and makes sure the trail is there for generations to come.
I'm Liz Bergeron. I'm the director of the Pacific Crest Trail Association. And the Pacific Crest Trail Association is a nonprofit organization that works to protect, preserve, and promote the Pacific Crest Trail. We were formed by a group of very passionate volunteers, and they were interested in keeping the trail open for hikers and equestrians. And that happened in about 1977, and since that time the organization has grown. We have many more hundreds of volunteers involved, and we have incorporated and become a nonprofit organization. We are the primary partner of the U.S. Forest Service in the management and operation of the Pacific Crest Trail.
When you hike on the trail, you can't help but notice all the hard work and pride that goes into the construction and maintenance of the trail from all of the volunteers involved. There is a genuine love for the trail, and it shows. Now, every year, hundreds of hikers attempt the journey. Most won't finish. It's a monumental task which takes months of preparation. At ADZPZICTO, you can meet these people. For many, it's a reunion to talk about stories on the trail.
Hey, I'm Navigator.
And I'm Belcher.
Filthy.
T-Tree.
The one. We're the class of 2003.
The stories are incredible. Every year is different. Now, with a distinct route, the hikers create excitement all along the way.
Having a great time here in Idlewild.
They have online journals where you can follow their journey. Scott Williamson is known as the Yo-Yo because he has hiked the trail from Mexico to Canada and back in a single season. He's a super athlete, which requires hiking up to 40 miles a day for 6 months.
My name is Scott Williamson, and I'm a self-employed tree climber from Truckee, California. And I'm here at the kickoff party this weekend to experience the kickoff party. And in 3 weeks from now, on May 22nd, I'm going to start at the Mexican border and northbound the Pacific Crest Trail, reach Canada sometime in early August is the plan. Turn around and hike back southbound and try to yo-yo the Pacific Crest Trail again for a second time. In the summer of 2004, I essentially did the same hike. I started at the Mexican border April 22nd and made the turnaround at Canada in August and southbounded back to the Mexican border, reaching it on November 13th. Telling people that I'm out here to break my own record time-wise. I'm hoping to do the yo-yo in 175 days or less, but really it's just an excuse to get back out here on the trail because I just really like being out on the PCT. If I'm successful this time, it'll be my 8th and 9th times hiking the entire trail border to border. So I just don't seem to be getting tired of the PCT. I just keep coming out here and enjoying it. Meet a lot of great people. That's a lot of experience for me, as well as just seeing some great scenery. And I really look forward to getting out on the trail this summer. Most incredible moment on any of my PCT hikes. The first moment that comes to mind, of course, to me, the entire journey is an incredible moment. But one that really sticks out in my mind is on my 1997 yo-yo attempt. Heading northbound in Central Oregon, I stopped at this lake, this kind of muddy, murky lake. It was a pretty hot day, maybe a little hotter than it is here today at Lake Marina. And I remember just throwing off all of my clothes and kind of walking into this lake, and the bottom was muddy, and so I was sinking. I was up to mud and my knees under the water, and I remember walking into the lake until the water was just at about chin level, so I was just right at water level. And I remember I'm down in the mud, I'm at water level, and at that point I'd been on the trail for several months, and I remember just feeling almost being as one with my environment. I was completely comfortable in that environment, and I remember just sitting there at lake level, watching the dragonflies and the mosquitoes just fly right along the lake surface in front of me, and it was only maybe a 2-minute moment, but interestingly, one of the more standout memories in my mind of incredible moments on the trail, and it was
being completely
just a simple,
absorbed and surrounded.
yeah, it's such a simple moment, just being in a mountain lake as opposed to seeing this crazy, amazing sunset or something that rarely happens.
Right.
It was a circumstance that can happen anytime. You don't have to wait for it to happen, you just have to experience it.
Every year, people hike the trail and get hooked on the Pacific Crest Trail experience. It has a profound effect on people that last a lifetime.